Hijacked buildings and slumlords are synonymous with Jozi. The Johannesburg CBD's limited housing is under severe pressure. Every month, as many as 3,000 people arrive in Africa's second largest city, hoping for a better life. The city is trying to clean up and make more housing available. It includes an ambitious project to convert derelict buildings into low-cost housing. But the envisaged public-private partnership has come under fire from some quarters.
Johannesburg, fast-paced, pulsating with opportunity. A magnet for migrant workers seeking greener pastures, but lurking beneath the scenic skyline, a city in ruin, battling to cope with the influx. Scores of dilapidated, hijacked buildings. Venin Court in Hillbrow, home to thousands. The conditions deplorable, posing health hazards.
The water here is not clean. We drink water from fire extinguishers. Even this electricity we have is illegal.
This resident has stayed here for 20 years, witnessing the gradual decay and slumlords' reign of terror.
The problem is hijackers. They come and force us to pay rent. After 3 months, they give us a run for it. And then another group will come and force us to pay them again.
But there's a glimmer of hope. This is one of the so-called bad buildings earmarked for development. It's owned by the city, but under the control of slumlords. The building is in a bad state of neglect and lack basic services. But residents here say they have no alternative. The city wants to transform buildings like Venin Court into affordable, low-cost housing.
We've identified just over 85 buildings hijacked like this. Some of them in worse conditions, but some of them we don't know who the owners are, so we're still looking for the owners. Of the 85, 24 of these buildings actually belong to the city of Johannesburg.
A few like AA House have been refurbished, a far cry from its former dark, smelly alleys. 76-year-old Alice Decker shares a room with her daughter and grandchild. She has access to a communal kitchen and bathroom.
We were staying at other flats before, paying a lot, about 1,500 rand to 1,600, and it was expensive. But here, the rent is low. The rent is much better here.
Units vary in size.
This one is a bachelor flat. Everything is here. The kitchen side, they got the toilet inside, they got the bathroom inside.
And how much do they pay?
They pay only 1.2.
The monthly rental for a one-bedroom flat is 2,000 rand, and just more than double that for a two-bedroom unit. There are 264 well-maintained units here housing needy families, the elderly and disabled. It's run by Johannesburg Social Housing Company and boasts facilities like a creche and a play area. The lowest rental here is 700 rand. But unlike this development, the city is now roping in private developers to refurbish hijacked buildings. Human rights groups say it's a bad call.
The introduction or the use of the private sector is what's most concerning, because driven by profit, they are likely to charge much more than what people can afford.
There are where we're looking for affordable accommodation to our people. So if you're going to be coming out with ridiculous the rental fees, unfortunately we're going to lose the tender.
With a backlog of 300,000 accommodation units in the CBD, the city is forging ahead, opening the tender process. But with perpetual arrivals in the city of gold, it's just a temporary reprieve. SABC News, Johannesburg.